What's up, y'all? Blackout the Rebel here, representing Bell to Bell podcast. There is a lot of stuff that we got to cover this week. There's a lot that's been going on. We have LFG, Speed, Evolve, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, SummerSlam, Hulk Hogan passing, R-Truth's listening party, Unreal. Like, it's a multitude of different things going on. That's why I wanted to do a little bit of video touching on certain things that doesn't follow the usual format of things. Like, some things are more important than others, let's just be real. So with that being said, I'm going to do a little small breakdown of what's been going on with Speed, what's going on with LFG, and what's going on with Evolve. Everything else I'm going to save for the actual podcast when I get to sit down with my brothers, Mainstream and Leak. But for now, let's just jump into it. We're going to speed through Speed, pun intended, because I was actually going to take the initiative this week to actually watch all of the matches and get caught up, because the matches are only 3 minutes, 5 minutes if it's a championship match. So I'm like, I could literally knock out like 3-4 hours and be caught up, because it started last year, April 24th or something like that. So, it's not like I got to make a whole day of it. So I really started to watch, and, it wasn't a bad concept. It was something to, I gave it a lot of flack when I was on the last episode of Bell to Bell. You guys can check that out. I gave it a hard time because I really didn't understand it too well, but I get the exclusivity of it. Like, you want to have a partnership with Twitter or X, whatever the hell they want to be called these days, and you want to license them out to have only that match be done there. Now, that's cool. The problem for me lies in how you promote and market it. You don't promote it or market it at all, and that to me was one of the biggest problems. I was saying this in the group chat with the rest of the gang. I was like, yo, I saw more promotion and ads for chewing 5 gum than I did for Speed. And every now and then I get reminded that Soul is the women's speed champion, but I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot all about that, because nobody mentions it, nobody says anything about it. Now, it's one thing to keep the brand only, like to keep the belts only being defended there and to have only matches be there. I get that, but there's not enough promotion. There was not enough advertising for it to become a thing, and that to me was always just the dumbest concept for me. It's like, do you want this to succeed or not? So with that being said, I caught a couple of the matches. It made me take a trip down memory lane. I saw Ricochet, because he was the first men's speed champion, and then Andrade, I think, caught it after him. Like, I didn't get far because I had other things to do. Like, I had the listening party. So I told myself, like, I'm going to do the listening party. I'm going to go later on this week, like today. I was going to try to check out some more of the matches. All in all, I was going to be finished and caught up by the time I would shoot for the next podcast episode, which would be this Sunday. But right before I could get in the mode of all of that, Mainstream stops me and sends me this link that comes from Wrestle Purist, and it says, it appears WWE Speed is gone. They haven't been taping new episodes and the titles have been forgotten. The deal with X probably expired. Whether it will be renewed or brought back isn't clear. Those acts haven't known one way or the other, basically given impressions it was so insignificant that nobody has talked about it. There was no official word one way or the other. And that goes to what I was saying. It's like, did y'all want this to succeed or not? Like, there was no promotion. There was no real advertising about it. Like, yeah, I would see Sol Ruka really walk around with the belt, and she's a two belt person, kind of like JC Jane, but I don't even know who the hell the men's the men's speed champion was. I think it's Stax from NXT, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but I just think it was a lack of advertising. I think it was actually a good idea. Now that I actually sit down and see what they were trying to accomplish, I get the reasoning behind it. However, it just was executed poorly. Now, I hope this doesn't hinder them from trying to make different partnerships and different brands and deals like that in the future, because I do think that the model itself wasn't bad. Like, it drew people, or it should have drew people to now check out the WWE's Twitter account or X account. And that's what I was going to do. I was going to, research all of the matches, and I was exclusively going to report on those matches on the bell to bell Twitter or X handle. So this way it can run tandem, like it makes sense, it all lines up. But because of this, I think this is really going to hinder any more business deals that look similar to this going forth. And that really sucks, because this could have been something more than what it was, but it wasn't handled properly at all. It's like they half-assed it, but it's like nobody asked you for this. Or what happened was you just took an easy bag from Twitter without really properly doing the necessary work. And I think this sucks because there's I think there's a big mismanagement with the titles that we have, and then the titles that people are able to get. And I think this is a good opportunity for people who are not necessarily in the lane to get a mid-tier belt like the Intercontinental or the US, or you're not big enough to get the real, like the big major belts like the Undisputed and the World Heavyweight or whatever the case may be. So this gave something else to strive for. Like anybody can just sign up and become a Speed champion. So once again, I think this was very mismanaged. I think it was a missed opportunity. I think shout outs to all the wrestlers that did make it they did what they could with it. You had a lot of really talented people able to get their shine, and it really shows you how chain wrestling has become so dominant now these days, because you have some really exceptional wrestlers who are really technical. You have Andrade, you had Ricochet, you have what's his name, Nathan Frazier, you have Stacks to some degree. Like, there was a lot of talented people that were there that were doing their thing, and unfortunately they're not going to get any more time to be able to do this. Hopefully they have something similar to this, like I said. If not, I get it. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say on Speed. It is what it is. I'm going to start getting everything prepped and set up for the next video, which I'm going to be touching on LFG and Evolve. So if you're watching this, stay tuned. We got more content for you guys. It's going to be a very busy week. So anybody who's taking the time to rock with us, I greatly and strongly appreciate it. I'm out. I'll holla at y'all.